Morning, everybody. It is another beautiful day. The weather is fantastic. I know it's going to get warmer, but I'm loving it now. You know, I don't like hot weather. Anyway, what's going on in Vegas? Well, let's talk about it. And then we're going to talk about Google Business Page Advanced Strategies. So first of all, here we go. We have 54 days of inventory, and we're down under 3,800 of single family homes. We're down to 3,791 single family available homes, and 22 were just listed yesterday that met the criteria of $425,000 and under, for a total now of single family homes that are active, no contracts, no pendings, nothing like that, 981. And that is 26% of our market. So it remains to be a large percentage, but not a lot of homes. So percentages can play games with you sometimes. I'm not always a fan of them for that reason. I like the hardcore numbers. Anyway, we have sold 776 homes so far this month, the first 13 days of April, for a total per day sales of 65. So we are selling 65 homes per day. Now, when I said there was 54 days of inventory, I'm relating to the March figure that ended up at 98 per day. So I'm using March's sales per day to determine the number of days of inventory in April. And April normally is a little bit more brisk than March. So we shall see, because it hasn't happened yet. But it's still only not even the middle of April yet. So we shall see. And we've got Easter had taken a break. We had the spring break, the school break. I mean, lots of things going on. So where people are not necessarily out buying homes the first part of April this year. So we'll see. We'll see. I think I was listening to Lee Barrett when he gave his report, and he was saying the trend in Vegas is usually from March through September, and then it slows down again from October to February. So we've got a lot of things going on in the latter part of the year. If you were listening to what's going on on the Fed level, they've raised the interest rates another 25 basis points. And that is their way of fighting inflation. They're saying that inflation could get worse. We could go into a mild recession. Hopefully we don't here in Vegas, but across the country. And they're saying that they see a decrease in sales and pricing in commercial real estate. So versus so far in this US of A home market, the prices have held steady and even increased for this quarter. So anyway, we shall see. We are holding steady with our median price of $425. It may go up to $430. We shall see. $430,000. I would predict that it might do that during this, as this sales and buyers continue to go up, and the inventory is holding low. So we shall see. Non-owner occupieds, the people out there buying second homes and investment properties, they're doing that at the rate of 21 a day, which is 26% of the market. So we still have investors coming in to take advantage of our market. Remember, eight people an hour move here, and almost 40% of those are from California, and they are swooping up our rentals pretty quickly. We don't keep them on our market longer than, normally a month, but worst case 45 days, depending on when they go on the market, because there's a particular time of the month when people start looking for the next month or the next month. So, and then it slows down and then comes back up again. So it's kind of you have to know when to put your rentals on the market to get the best activity and get them rented the fastest. And that's not always under our control, of course. Anyway, what else is going on here? $1 million homes, three a day, hangs in there. It was up to 3.22. Now it's down to 3.13, but still it's 3 a day. And we've sold 319 so far this year. and we have 706 available right now, $1 million plus homes, and that's 14% of the market. So our market is all over the place, as we were talking about the other day. Let's bring our chart up here if I can do it kind of quickly. Let me put it over here. I think I've got it here pretty well. Sometimes you just got too much information. Hang on. I should get it before I talk, huh? Yeah, the $1 million plus market, if you remember, is 5%. I don't have the larger chart here for you. So anyway, yeah, and you can see the median's right in there. 49% of the market is in those price ranges. So that's a good thing. That's what makes it the median, right? The middle. All right, let's hide that and let's look at this for just a second. This is a chart of the homes that have sold from 2012, the numbers. So, you know, we hit a high there in 2021, and then we went down in 2022, didn't sell quite as many. So we were up in the 50, look at that, 50,000 in 2021. Wow, that was a big year. We're more normal now. We're much more normal now. We're getting more into a normal market. Then I want to show you this. This is the gain based on the median price and based on when people did buy those homes. And I did it in a chart form because Jimmy Dague likes charts, and charts do show more trendy things. So if you're looking just for trends, I like charts. But if you're looking for really actual numbers, I like to look at the numbers so I can see exactly the numbers. You can't exactly see the numbers here. It's hard to tell on a chart like that. So those are the two differences when you look at the same data displayed differently. So you choose, because we want to please everybody. Here I've put the $1 million homes in a separate PDF, and I've done the same thing. Let's see, with this is the daily market. Let's hide that one. And yeah, that one's a little harder to see. Let me move myself down here. Whoops, move myself down here. Yeah, so I've done this too. This is the daily, the you know, how many high rises, how many condos, single family townhomes. So I've done a separate chart. If you're just focusing in on that, now you can do it without having to fold the paper, right? Okay, and let's see if we have anything else to share that's for today. That I think this one is an interest. This is what I was looking for earlier. Okay, here it is. This is the home sales by price. And again, I did it two ways. You can do it with a chart, or you can do it with the hard numbers. Now, this chart isn't as difficult to read because it actually it doesn't do the bars. It does the actual percentages in that chart. I like that much better. So if you look over here, let's see, 5% is $1 million plus, 1% is 900 to 999. And I told you the other day, you know, there's 4 pillars of a listing. Open houses, you can get listings. Your database, you can get listings. Your geofarm, you get listings. And your past clients, you get listings. Those are the 4 pillars. And we all need to be listing, list to last, because in this market, that's what we need. We need to have listings so that, you know, our inventory is up, and so that we're not all fighting so hard for those deals. And you know, there's a lot of things going on this year. It's going to be interesting to see how the year ends up. We've got the Federal Reserve in there playing with the interest rates. You've got the bank situation, which Warren Buffett said, oh, that's no problem, no problem. You got the Fed saying something different, that it is a problem. And then you have, you know, just people stirring around. I heard that 1/3 of the New Yorkers, people that live in New York, are going to move in the next 5 years because, let's see, what did they say? Number 1, quality of life. And number 2, taxes. So if I were just getting into the business and I was starting my geo farm and I was starting doing open houses, I would also do some advertising either on Google or in Facebook, and Target New York. Target New York, because I mean, that's a lot of people coming here. I mean, they said a third of the population, so now I got to go back and figure that out. But it doesn't matter. A third is a lot of people moving, and they call Florida Southern New York because so many people from New York move to Florida. But 4 to 5% of the people that move to Florida end up moving here. So we end up getting a piece of that pie. So there's just a lot of churning going on. And California, we've got the homeless problem. I guess we have more than 500,000 people in this country that are homeless. I would have really thought there were more, so I'm going to double check that number. But anyway, California has spent $15 billion to solve their homeless problem. Where did all that money go? I mean, they still have homeless people. I mean, how can you remedy it? That's the conundrum. You can build them houses, but are they going to take care of them? They don't have the money. So there's, I don't know what the solution is for the homeless people. I feel bad for them. But then they've chosen that. They like it, evidently. I don't know. I've never known people that were homeless. I know Aaron Taylor and his group over the years has gone out and given them pillows or, and I know he never wanted to advertise that, but I will tell that on him. Because, I mean, I thought that was such a nice thing to go down to the homeless people in Vegas and give them pillows. Something that, I mean, that's a great thing to do. Anyway, I don't know how you help them. I mean, that gives them comfort, but it doesn't get them out of the homeless situation. I don't know. That's another story for another day, but we're going to move on here today because we're going to talk about Google business pages. Yes, Google My Business. Google My Business. And this is where one of my things where you've got to get on Google. You just have to get on Google. And I'm going to give you some stats. I mean, 46% of these searches on Google are local searches. So you want to make sure that you're there. And I'm going to show you some of the people that have put themselves up there. Okay. Hang on. Here's one. Let's hide this little guy here. Okay. Now, if you Google realtor near me, Dale Jones is one of the 3 that come up, and he has his Google business page. And this is in his photos. He's got his photo. He's got his company logo here, and he's got his name as Dale Jones at Remax Legacy. He's got 68 reviews, and they're all 5-star. He's been 8 years in the business. He's open, and he's serving Summerlin South. He goes down here to tell you that he'll give you COVID-19 related updates. And I think that perhaps he hasn't gone in there and updated it. And then he'll say what his services are. And services are very important, which I'm going to get into in a few minutes. And then he says what areas that he serves. So he's done quite a stellar job. And then we're going to look at somebody else here who's done a good job. And I'm going to play this because I went down. Charlie Bizek comes up. He's in the Realty One group. Now he's got a lot of photos here. And his services options are online appointments. That's something I don't see too much of. I see the appointments down here, but service options, that's something new. I haven't seen that. The area he serves is 89135, which is my zip code. And I did say realtors near me. And then let's play this and see how it goes down. Because this is what the Dale Jones didn't do. Come on, down we go. Down we go. We're going to go down here. There we go. Special offers under products. So this is something that you really need to make sure that you do. You put products in there, and we're going to go over all this in just a minute. And then he has all the reviews. And what you want to know is keywords. You notice that he uses his keywords quite well. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into this right now. And in this today, so let's see, let me put this other one up here too. Show the differences here, perhaps. I don't know why I can't hide myself like I used to. I guess we'll just have to go with one. Okay, so I don't want myself up there on the screen. Okay, in this video, I'm going to teach you, advanced techniques to massively improve your ranking position on Google Search and Google Maps. And this is via your Google Business Profile. This is what this is, a Google Business Profile. And this is what comes up when I Googled realtor near me. And you can Google best realtor now. If you're running any type of a local business here in Vegas, your Google Business Profile is mission critical, absolutely mission critical to your success in terms of being focused by your prospects, because more and more the consumer confides in what they find online that describes past clients' experiences in terms of working with you. That's why reviews are so important. And that's why your Google Business Profile is a must, because that's the first thing people do is they Google you. So maybe they're not looking for the best realtor near me, but they're looking for Charles Bizak. And when he comes up, this is what comes up. Quite impressive. So we know that Google dominates when it comes to all things local searches. Okay, and that Google reviews are arguably the most important online reviews. 46% is the actual stat of all Google searches every day are of local intent. And of those 46%, about 93% of those are actually triggering the map pack, which means they're looking for local businesses that rank in a given search in a given area. That's what we did near me or in 89135. So today we're going to talk about how to cut through all the competition, because chances are based upon where you're watching. There could be thousands of other agents in your local marketplace. We talked the other day about that. We have 21,000 agents here in Vegas, or in Nevada, excuse me. No, Clark County, right? Clark County. So many numbers. So all of they, and they don't all have a Google Business Profile. So we're going to have some advanced techniques to help you cut all the way to the top so that you rank at the top of the Google search, the top of Google Maps via your Google Business Profile. So I'm glad you're here today. It means you're looking to rank and get found by more buyers, more sellers, more consumers for your business, more customers, more prospects, more sellers, more buyers, more investors. So if you're new to Ruthie Rocks, it would mean a ton if you could join my Facebook group. It's facebook.com/RuthieRocks, or subscribe on my YouTube channel, Ruthie Rocks, and then tap that little notification bell icon to indicate when I do go live, and you'll receive alerts when I publish my show. So now let's get down to the 4 optimizations for your Google Business Profile. So let's go. All right, a lot of the points we're going to cover are going to be toggling between both your website and your Google Business Profile, because I'm going to say this phrase more than once. Google is always Googling you. Google is always Googling you. So they're analyzing whatever they find online and what they know about you from your offline sources too. Okay, they talk about prominence and relevance and proximity as being the 3 major variables of their algorithm. Prominence, relevance, proximity. Google's always Googling you. Arguably, the spot where they gather the most data about your business profile, aside from what you list inside your profile, is your website, the domain that you link to your Google Business Profile. Now, Kane and I have said for years, when we teach social media, we talk about websites, we sell websites, your name should be your website name. KaneTap.com. This should be CharlesBizak.com. That's your name. That's like, oh my gosh, Google finds you right away when you do that. So chances are, to optimize on your website, you can have a profound ripple effect in terms of how that manifests or how that plays out with your Google Business Profile. Ergo, suffice to say, your website has a big influence on your Google Business Profile as performance, specifically keywords on your website. So are you optimized for the right keywords? on your website, think about how Google works. I type in words, I type in phrases, I type in keywords into Google because I'm looking for something. And Google's job is to interpret my meaning and give me the most relevant results based upon what I typed as a user, a searcher of Google. So what are search phrases that would be your customers would be searching for? What are the search phrases that your would-be customers might be searching on Google that you want to rank on? Well, probably phrases like best realtor near me, or best realtor in Las Vegas, top real estate teams, Las Vegas listing agent, Las Vegas, all those types of phrases that go with real estate. So, number one, the first step to dialing up or improving your Google business profile is to keyword optimize your website. So go back to grammar school, if you would, for just a moment, where your teacher taught you, I think, probably most likely about nouns, verbs, and modifiers. Okay, what are nouns? A person, place, or thing. What's a verb? It's an action item, a kind of doing term. And what's a modifier? Well, it's an adverb or an adjective. And what does that do? That describes nouns or describes verbs. So they're describing words. So imagine a word cloud of what are the words that are most important to be found throughout your website, especially on the core pages like your home page or your service page, your about page, your biography section, your contact page, your core pages. Very critical what we're saying here. So what are the keywords that matter most? Well, they're going to be nouns, verbs, and modifiers. Nouns so far, the name of your business. It should be your name. If I'm a realtor and my name is Ruthie Allbrand, my full name, okay? I want the SEO of my full name, Ruthie Allbrand, mentioned as many times across my website to create validity that those keywords are all over my website and they're valid for who I am as an agent. Makes sense. Not just Ruthie, but Ruthie Allbrand, Linda Eden, Aaron Mills, or if it's the name of your team. But you want to reinforce those nouns, if you will, the keywords. It could be where you live, Las Vegas, or a specific neighborhood or zip code or area, community, subdivision, those type of location descriptive terms or keywords. They should be literally scattered and littered all over your website so long as they're relevant and don't look like spam. So you have to actually give rich quality content, but you want to reinforce to Google the name of your business and where you do business, and then the type of business you're in. Real estate brokerage, real estate broker, real estate agent, realtor, real estate agency. Terms like that should be scattered throughout the website to reinforce yourself on Google. And then terms like that scattered and optimized accordingly across your site to reinforce to Google who you are, what you do, and where you do it. So, verbs are action. They describe what you help folks do. Buy a house, sell a house, purchase, list, lease, moving to, moving from, moving in, selling in, moving from, I said that, listing in those that are all verbs. So they describe the action terms of what you help folks do in terms of providing your services. Now, then we talk about modifiers. What are the most important or commonly used adjectives or adverbs that would be associated with a given search where a customer might be looking for you? I can tell you it's words like best, top, number one, the number one agent, the number one listing agent, the number one listing team, the top realtor in Las Vegas, the best realtor in Las Vegas. Words that describe. So here's a recommendation. So when you imagine making a word cloud, or even it could be a spreadsheet where your team or your people who support you and your SEO list, make a list based upon what your research is, that people know The people want to know, how should we say this? It's what people are attracted to. That's a better way to say it. And they use phrases and these types of words, okay, when they go looking for you. So again, you're going to reinforce these things like we just talked about: the best, the number one. And then the nouns are listing agent with the descriptor, listing. You're an agent, you're listing agent, you're the best. So you have to have all those things. So you might notice in the map pack, sometimes you'll see a snippet where it says website always mentions best realtor or something like that in bold. And we did see that. I think it was on the previous one. Let's see. Show this real quick. Yes. Related updates, services. No, it doesn't have his. I was looking at some and it does do that. It actually does do that. So let's put this one back up. Yeah, I don't see it on his either. So what that means is that when they did well, we're going to learn what they didn't do in a minute. So I won't get ahead of myself. So so let's call this a local justification. I'm going to talk about this in a second. What Google's doing is actually splitting hairs in terms of there may have been, I don't know, a 300-way tie for the position in the map pack, and Google's like what can and Google likes what can distinguish one business from the next. So they actually scour your website, and maybe in your biography it says Ruthie Allbrand, or let's say Charles Bizak, strives to be the best realtor with whom you've ever worked in Las Vegas, or something like that. The Google's likes the website that also mentions best realtor. Okay. So I said, actually, Google scoured your website because somebody wanted to know the best realtor in Las Vegas. So in your biography, you want to say, I strive to be the best realtor with whom you've ever worked with in Las Vegas. And and Google likes that because it mentions best realtor. So you don't necessarily want to say, I'm the best realtor, because people say, oh, yeah, right. But what you want to say is something maybe more welcoming. I strive to be the best realtor in Las Vegas. There's a difference. It's a difference when people read it. But when Google reads it, it catches best realtor, because that's the keywords that they searched for. Do you start to see the correlation? So whatever the most searched item is for real estate, selling, investing, buying, renting, those are the words that you need to think about and make sure that you put them in your website, in your description, in your about, in your bio. And we're going to talk about a couple other things as we go on through here. So again, you didn't call yourself the best realtor. You just mentioned it so the search engine can find it. So if they can only rank 3 businesses, which that's all they do when you Google that, okay, in any given search, and it's that location. So in different parts of town, for instance, there are tens of thousands of other agents. Well, there's thousands here, not tens of thousands, thank goodness. It could rank in that map pack, and it could only pick 3. So it's got to go through your website, go through your profile, go through all these things, and it's got to start splitting hairs. So remember, Google's always Googling you, and they're mostly pulling data from your website and the things that we're going to show you in your business page, in your Google business profile. I know it's called business page for so long. So you want to make sure that you keyword optimize the living daylights out of your website, and that's not hard to do. So, hey, if you're committed to absolutely crushing your local SEO via your Google business profile, then make sure to check out some of my previous videos that I talked about how you create a Google business page. So anyway, second tip, and that's to optimize your Google business profile in an advanced kind of way. And that's what we call local justifications. So I already alluded to this. But let's talk about what are local justifications. When somebody does a Google search, best realtor in Las Vegas or in Clark County, some phrase like that, that's going to trigger the map pack. and I've talked about this now for several times, but the map pack is a half portion of the map that there's typically 3 businesses. They're presumably the top 3 business listings based upon what was searched for and where it was searched and what location for. For example, if I just said best realtor near me, Google has to detect my location. That's a proximity and it's a variable. It's a factor. If I use location term best realtor in Vegas, then that location term supersedes the location of my device where I'm conducting the search. So think about that for a minute when you're building your service areas here in your Google business profile. That means the map pack will have several different answers for different people in different places. It's going to be somewhat of a moving target around your area. The goal is rank and optimize for as many of those key searches in as many areas as possible, so you can be in the map pack more than anybody else and get more of those inbound leads and opportunities. So there's service areas. You can see that service area. He's got 89135. He could have put Summerlin. He could have put, let's say, Red Rock Country Club. He could have put Green Valley. And then when people search for that, that's one of the places that Google's going to look. So, but maybe he's just really targeted. Maybe that's all he wants, but there's more communities in 89135 that he possibly could have put there. Anyway, the map pack can only include the top 3. So I already said this. Once Google gets hundreds of potential listings in your marketplace, there could be so many others to pick from. It's like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe. I mean, how do you do it? It's trying to decide which profile should be shown in the map pack versus others. And there could be, again, a 682-way tie or a 6,000 way tie, depending upon just how competitive your marketplace is. And Vegas is very competitive. And why? Because there's so many people that are moving here. And there's so many real estate agents that we have. So I was surprised when I did Google the best realtor near me, how many people came up in the 3. And then when you go down further, you go off the page, there's a lot of people, but they don't have a Google business page, so they don't come up in the top. They're on page 2, 3, 4, 5, they're not, and they're finding them on realtor.com or on another website, not on their Google business profile. So that's another difference. And when you do a Google search, let's see, where was I here? Oh, so, well, we were talking about the service areas. So there's going to be only 3. And it's typically when it's repeating back to you, whatever search terms you put inside of your actual search, like best realtor, it must be emboldened. So most commonly, you're going to see snippets from reviews, which tells you that Google is reading the reviews of your customers and looking for keywords. So one of the things that we teach in our class is that when you ask somebody for a review, say, would you please use these words? Because you know that that's what people search for. Like, try to say that I'm striving to be the best realtor in Summerlin. And they could say, oh, I like working with Charles Bizak because he's striving to be the best realtor in Summerlin or in 89135, he would have to say. I don't know, Charles, if you're listening out there, I might change that to area versus zip codes, because people from out of town that are moving here don't always know zip codes. Think of it like that. But many people know Summerlin, many people know Green Valley and Henderson and things like that. But zip codes, I don't know if that's a good idea. But anyway, so if you have reviews and you have hundreds of reviews and some of them say Linda Eden was the best realtor we've ever worked with in Las Vegas, Nevada, and they've loaded up with those nouns, verbs, and modifiers, the right types of keywords to reinforce you, you have a really good probability that Google's going to scan through those reviews and grab snippets for the local justifications, because a local justification is Google justifying itself. It has to justify why it just put you up there. So it says best realtor on their website also. And now you can take the reviews from Google. This is just a little hack. Take the reviews you got from Google, copy and paste them over to your About page And now you've got them in 2 places saying the same thing, reinforcing it to Google. So how do you optimize your profile so that it's ripe with opportunities for local justifications, because Google users use those all the time? Again, it's your reviews. They matter a whole bunch. It's keywords on your website, like I talked about in the last step. Google's always Googling you, and it's looking for context on your website that supports what's being said about you in your profiles. So again, it's looking for external sources. Think about how Google works. It's constantly looking for backlinks, external sources that validate. This is the most relevant link, not because they say so, but because other sources say so. The irony is, in local SEO, your website is another source. Okay. Even though it's your website, you have complete and utter control over it. So you should leverage it so that your website always mentions that there's a snippet of what's on your profile for local justification. So I just repeated myself a couple times, but I say it different times, different ways, so that you maybe it strikes you to where your light bulb goes on. Additionally, Google in your profile gives you access to a feature called products. Oh my gosh, whereby you can offer products for sale. Well, most agents just include listings as products, or maybe they include find out what your home is worth, search for homes, and those types of products whereby you include the product and then somebody can click more, say there's a more, click more, and it'll go to your website to get more information about that product. So some of these agents that are doing this are missing the big opportunity that are afforded by products. Because when consumers are searching for what's my home worth, or they're searching for homes for sale, that's not going to trigger the map pack. Okay. They're going to get Zillow or realtor.com. And that's what's going to rank, not the map pack. So what triggers the map pack? Best realtor near me, top listing agent in Red Rock Country Club, first time home buyer, buyer representation services. Those types of search pages trigger the map pack. So what are people looking for? The professional, not when they look for houses, when they look for you, the service provider. You should include products that link up with those kind of searches. Now, what am I saying? Get out of the technical jargon for a second. You can have down here, you can have a PDF and a picture of it that says, click here to find out how to buy your first home. That's a product, okay? It's a guide. So you're giving people information, not just listings like everybody else. You're setting yourself apart, okay? So we've got the staging tips, we've got the remodeling tips. All those PDFs can be products here, which people will say, oh, I'm going to pick Ruth because she's got this. She just doesn't have listings. She's got something here that I need. I want to know how to stage my home. And maybe I'll use her to list my home. Anyway, the one about the first-time home buyer, you should definitely do, because you're helping them in their process, and and that's optimizing with the right keywords. Okay, products that are paired nicely with the right listing agent in the right area. So that's what Google's doing. They're always Googling you, and they're Googling you. You know, you add stuff to your page constantly. I think was it him or was it the other gentleman who had something old? That means they're not updating it constantly. This is a job. Products are, you could include products galore that link up with all types of searches that are relevant to the consumer you want to take care of. So Google sees those products when it does its algorithm, when it does its equation, when it does its formula, whatever you want to call it. So what are the top 3 profiles to rank on? I got a 9,000 weight tie. Well, this one has a product that says, and then it puts it as a local justification so that you rank higher in the search results. Products are important, and it can pull those keywords from the reviews. Like, I was a first-time home buyer, and Linda helped me buy my first home. And then you have a product that is a guide to a first home, and then you put that review on your website in your bio section, in your about section. So now that it's tying things together. So if anything resonates, that should resonate. You want to tie things together. What you offer, what your products are, what your bio says, what the reviews say. These things all have to tie together so that Google can justify why they put you up in that top 3. So I don't know. I read here where typically this person recommends choosing 2 or 3, but the primary matters the most. I don't know. Let's go back for a second. There's a section. Let's go back here to services. There's services up here. Okay. Services. He has services options, not just services, but there is a section in your profile called services. And this is the last one in this little bit of information here, because it describes your business category when you set up your profile. And you had to choose one primary, but you can have more. And this category is critically important to your profile, of course. And I would pick real estate agency, because that's the one that's Google gives you to pick. And that's when people say realtor or real estate agent, then they connect the dots. It's not an advanced step, but it's basically a critical step. So services describe your category. So for example, if one of those categories you choose, let's say it's your primary category, it's real estate agency, then services are words and phrases that describe your agency. And they give additional commentary and context to Google about what is the scope of your services within that category of service real estate agency. And a lot of agents don't put stuff there. Now, Google starts filling in on its own, because remember, Google's always Googling you. So it pulls information from your website that it thinks is relevant and is listed as services. So again, things have to be across the board. Your website, your profile, your products, and your categories and your services. So important. So zoom out for a step. There could be 10,000 way tie for one of the top positions in the map pack. Well, again, they start splitting hairs. How do we know? Because they show us local justifications all the time. Where do they put those justifications? Keywords. Keywords on your website, reviews, and keywords mentioned in those. That's the biggie. Products in the product section of your profile, and services that describe your key category. I hope you get it now, okay? These are the opportunities to rank your profile way higher. Okay, that was a big one. Now let's go to the next one. So this is number 3. We only have 2 to go. They're shorter, much shorter. So there was a little bit easier for us to talk about, and it's to beef up community pages and service pages on your website. Again, your domain, the website that you've linked and associated with your Google business profile. What are the service pages? It's your www.lindaeden.com/buying or www.lindaeden.com/selling. Now, why do I say slash? Excuse me. So on the Agent Formula website, you can create pages, and you can name those pages. And those pages are critical now, because when you say listing, selling, real estate, whatever, after that slash, so first of all, lindaeden.com/selling your home in Las Vegas could be it seems long, but that's what people are Googling. So you want to make sure that you have pages that are also named for those keywords. And these are the services that buying, selling, maybe investing, maybe leasing, whatever it is. But they're the services that you provide to the consumer, and each one should have its own web page on your website. And that should be easy to do. It should be easy to do. You have a strategic opportunity to really beef those up with the keywords that we've already talked about. Keywords, nouns, verbs, modifiers. And I'm here to tell you right now that you need to beef up your services pages on your website. You also need to beef up your community pages. What are community pages? Same thing. Lynda.com/Green Valley. I know that she's, or /Henderson, because I know that she does most of her business in that area where she lives. So it depends how your consumer tends to search. And we know because people move here from other parts of the country, they're looking for Green Valley, Henderson, Summerlin, Centennial Hills. They're looking for those community names, not so much zip codes. So there's another opportunity to load up keywords here with specific keywords, not just the location, but nouns, verbs, and modifiers, and how you can help people in those locations buy houses, sell homes, and all those kinds of activities. So in real estate, we know it's location, 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 but in SEO, it's keywords, keywords, keywords. So, Ruthie, this sounds so much like work. Well, I don't have time to write all this stuff, like a 1,000-word article to go on my community page. Oh, hey, whoa, we live in a different world today. But there's a tool that can help you. Yes, we live in the world of AI, artificial intelligence. So enlist a tool like ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, write a 1,000-word article from my website that's loaded up with keywords like and related to this, this, and this. So ChatGPT, write a 1,000-word article about what it's like to live in Henderson. Okay, now write a 1,000-word article about the activities in Henderson, what it's like to, well, those are enough, just because you can go on and on here. But that's a couple of relevant data points, and you can throw